Hi guys, I'm reaching out to you today because I want to tell you a story of a friend of mine's son. So this is not my own personal story, but I believe that with the platform that I have online, that we can really do some good. And I've seen this happen before. I've seen these kind of campaigns really do some good, and I hope that we can do the same with this one. So my friend's son's story is this, and this is simplifying it a whole lot. His biological dad was, he died when this young boy was really young, so before he can really remember him. So he wasn't a presence in his life. However, it's his dad, and his dad had died. Then his mum got together with somebody else, and that became his dad, his stepdad, whatever you want to call it. He was the dad, the father figure, the father presence in his life. And then that dad died, shockingly, tragically, at a time in this boy's life when he was at such a pivotal age. I think he was around 13, you know, just into secondary school, and you know, this had a huge impact on his life. He became really close with my husband. And those of you that follow my story will know that my husband died coming up to 2 years ago. And my husband became a really strong male figure within his life and really believed in this young man. And I really believe in this young man. And he took him under his wing. And then obviously my husband died. So a third strong male presence in his life who had died in a really short, you know, in a really young man's life. Alongside that, he was also privy to domestic violence in the home and a lot of other complications surrounding that, and the drama that brings into a household at an age when you are already going through stuff. At this point in time, that young man is 16 and not long till he's 17. His mental health is really poor, and he is saying that he wants to kill himself. He is self-harming, and his behaviours are destructive, and his family are at a loss on how to help. They've done all the normal routes, and unfortunately we're in a position where mental health in this country just isn't up to scratch. That their services provided, I mean, they're not up to scratch, they're underfunded, and particularly when you get to an age where you are not yet an adult, but you're not a young child, you kind of fall through the cracks, and it can become really difficult. And he is at this pivotal moment where effectively he is still a child, but he's about to go into young adulthood, and he, if nothing is done, could very easily be lost in the system. And this young man, the circumstances surrounding all of this, where he has got to a stage where he has been diagnosed with trauma-related disorders, attachment disorders, and other things likely undiagnosed at this stage. None of this came through any fault of his own. He's a child. He's still a child, and very young for his age in many respects, because that childhood has been made difficult. And I want us to do something. So we are at a stage now where it needs absolute intervention. We can't sit here. We are sitting waiting for a phone call to say that he's killed himself. It's as brutal as that. And he's talking about that daily. He's kind of logical about it, which is just terrifying. And as a mum, there's just the thought of this, and knowing this young man, the thought of this is devastating, because it doesn't need to happen. And we have a chance to potentially stop that from happening, because in order for him to get the real help, it needs to happen now. We can't wait a year for somebody to maybe intervene in the NHS. Unfortunately, it's just not good enough. It needs to happen now, in which case money is needed. He comes from a normal family, you know, they don't have the money to be able to provide that for him. They just don't. His mum is a single mum. He has, you know, 3 other siblings, one of whom who is autistic, who has his own challenges. You know, the other children are bereaved as well. It's a very difficult situation, and I'm calling on you guys to help. because I really believe in people power. I believe that if all of us can give a little bit, then we could change the course of this young man's life. Really seriously, it could have such an impact, because the decisions that are being made now will change everything, good or bad. If we sit and do nothing, if I sit and do nothing and don't even try, then who knows where we could be in 6 months' time. And I don't want to feel like we haven't tried. And we can do something. I've got 14,000 followers on Instagram. I noticed that today. They need £14,000 to provide 2 weeks of treatment at the Priory in London, which they do a young person services that would help with trauma and the PTSD type symptoms that he's been having. And I think we could do that. I think there is enough people that follow me, that are on here, that might get access to this video, that we could all just give a little bit, and know that potentially we could stop, you know, we could change this man's life for good and in a positive way. And if anything, if nothing else, then at least it allows him to know that people care, people really care, and they have his back. And even if it does that, if we can give him some hope, then we've done something. Too many young people, too many people take their own lives because they are left with no alternative. They don't know where to turn. So this has become a long video, but I would love it if you could donate and give what you can and share this video. And, you know, just remember how you would feel if it was yours. You know, it may seem like a distant story, that it's not touching your life, and often these things do, but it's someone's life, it's someone's son, it's someone's family, and they need our help. And yeah, I think we're good. I think we can do it. I think we can do it between us. So prove me right, please. I would love that. Donate what you can, and make sure to leave a comment so that I can thank you. Yeah, thanks guys. Peace.